What a game in Miami between Argentina and Cape Verde. Another historic evening for the Blue Sharks, sending the defending World Cup champions to extra time. But ultimately, their fairy tale journey ends in South Florida. Argentina sneaking through 3-2 to the round of 16, thanks to Cuti Romero's late header. As we welcome you along to Golazo Match Night, 48 nations. It's Adam Hunt here in the studio with Marcelo Balboa and Ian Joy. I think you can see the shirt that Marcelo's got on, and he looks a very cool, calm, collected kind of guy, but trust me, he has not been for the last couple of hours. Cello, how are you feeling?
You know, my heart rate's dropping. It's finally dropping a little bit, and no, listen, it was, I think it was tougher than everybody thought it was going to be.
Was it? Was it?
You know what I mean? No, but I'm saying you looked at this game and you hear people talking, oh, Argentina's going to win easy, and Cabo Verde, I mean, they were fantastic today. That's probably the best I've seen them play in this tournament, the way they went toe for toe at times with Argentina. But again, when you have a special player in Messi, he scores a goal, he gets an assist on the Romero goal, on the free on the corner kick, that just dropped my heart rate down a little bit. But everything what we want in around the 32.
I know we've said this a few times this World Cup, Ian, but it felt like football was the winner, right? Whatever happened in the game in terms of a result, this was about the occasion.
Yeah, the occasion. I mean, this game was on drugs. This was insane. I mean, this is absolutely insane. This is not good for anyone's heart. It's not good for Cello's heart. I was slightly concerned for Cello at one point here. I was getting really concerned about his health watching this game, watching this Argentinian national side pull out the victory some way, somehow. But I guess that's what champions do, right? You're coming up against a team that looked incredibly fit. I mean, Cabo Verde looked like they could run all night long. They made a couple of mistakes and were punished by an absolute class team, but they also showed great heart and they showed great quality. The equalising goal to make it 2-2 is one of the best goals I think we've seen at this tournament. Absolutely sensational strike. But this was a game for the ages, and it was one I don't think necessarily just for this World Cup. We could go through the last 10 generations of World Cups, and this was one of those games where you can think, OK, we're never going to forget this one.
Although they lost it, Cello, do you actually think this was a better performance than we saw in the group stages from Cape Verde? Was this their crowning moment, their best performance at the World Cup?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's probably the team that challenged them the most. I mean, they went after them. They were having a hard time keeping up in transition with their counterattacks. I think when you look at Argentina, I think when they scored, they kind of backed off the pedal, and Cabo Verde kept going at them. But listen, you're not always going to play great. And we talk about knockout games. When you get to a knockout game, it's about winning. They found a way to win. That wasn't 100% what we used to see in Argentina, controlling, dictating the passes and controlling the tempo of the game. They lost control of the game. And that's where they went back. They got tied up. Then they went up. Then they got tied again. So it's not a great performance if you look at overall, but I think it was probably their best performance because they got pushed.
Yeah, and I think, and this goes for all sports, great champions don't panic when things aren't going their way. And I think this was a good example of Argentina showing their class. Maybe they're not at the same level as we saw when they won the last World Cup in Qatar, but they are able to just calm down. OK, we conceded a goal. We're back level. We should be beating these guys, but we will eventually get it done. Yeah,
listen, that's the beauty of experience, right? When you've lived moments like that generational team has done, you've experienced it all before. Tests, challenges, big games, big moments, understanding pressure, when you need to step it up. And also, by the way, Argentina finding a way to win the game. Not necessarily just through Lionel Messi. They found a way to win this game. Set-piece goal, obviously Lionel Messi, great delivery into the penalty area, and Cuti Romero gets his head to it. I don't think it was necessarily going in. I think the hand probably took it in the back of the net, and it looks like FIFA have changed it to an own goal. But it impressed me that Argentina found a way. I was slightly concerned because Vozinha, the incredible stallion on Instagram right now, he had an unbelievable game, almost as if he had a boxing match with Messi, right? 1v1, everything Messi tried to put at him. There was a challenge from the goalkeeper accepted. And, of course, class is inevitable, right? You can't keep it down forever. Eventually, top teams find a way, and that's what world champions do as well, right? Argentina are Argentina for a reason. They're world champions for a reason, and they found a way to get past a team that had this never-say-die attitude. It was beautiful.
Do you think they were surprised, Cello, at quite how much Cape Verde were able to come back? Because I know they got it back level, but I don't think Argentina could ever have thought in their wildest dreams that they would have had to fight that hard to get it done.
No, you know what? When you live up to the moment, and Cabo Verde lived up to the moment, When are you going to see a goal like that from this team? I haven't seen a goal like that all tournament. And when you play above your means, and you have to against Argentina, you get that performance. They're shooting from 30 yards at an angle. He couldn't have put it any tighter in that freaking corner if your life depends on it. You know what I mean? Now all of a sudden you're tied up. So I think games like this, when you're the underdog, makes your game just rise to the level of what Argentina was playing at. And listen, at times, they were flying. They were fit. This was a fit team. This was an exciting team. This was a team that I thought were going to come in and have that little bit of that, oh, it's Messi, you know, kind of that effect, and they backed off, and they didn't.
And I think this comment that we've got here, and keep them coming in, by the way, on YouTube. We'll read the best ones out on the show. I'm a fan of Cape Verde now. They play a pure football. Massive well done to these boys. And I think, as I said at the top, they have captured the imagination of the football world, and they're everyone's second team now, aren't they?
Remember that game against Spain, let's not forget the performance from the goalkeeper in that game, but also this performance against the world champions. I mean, you're going up against Argentina, you're going up against Lionel Messi, the story, the history. And for a nation so small, they should be so proud of this occasion. And of course, the goal that they scored, that goal from Sidny Lopes Cabral. We have seen him on our networks, obviously, playing for Benfica this campaign, but this was a moment for the ages, stepping up and scoring a goal like that in the top bin against a goalkeeper like that. And of course, they've had great magical moments throughout this competition. It might just be the story of this FIFA World Cup, Cabo Verde, for what they've done and their supporters. I love the celebration, by the way, going and finding his missus in the stands. That was absolutely spectacular.
And he couldn't find her. Couldn't find her.
Where is she?
It's like my missus. When I'm looking for her, she's never there.
I'm not touching the surprise, because you never know with Paraguay beating France. You never know.
Well, Cello is not the only Argentinian fan that we've got here at the network. Of course, we have got Nico Cantor, who has been with plenty of Argentinian fans in New York watching the game, and this is his reaction when the goals were going. You can see the disappointment. He was basically crying into his bucket hat, I think, every time Cape Verde managed to score a goal. I think this was the reaction. How on earth? He's thinking, how on earth can they possibly be getting back into this game? But eventually, they did get the job done. And we can speak live now to Nico Cantor. The bucket hat is still on the head. Nico, a sense of relief like Cello?
Yeah, the bucket hat is still in the head, guys, and the hope is still intact. Yes, a sense of relief, but before we get into it, I do want to take a moment to say congratulations to Cape Verde for the extraordinary match that they played today against the defending world champions, Argentina. Think about the World Cup that they've done as the smallest nation to ever qualify to the World Cup, to get out of a group with two World Cup champions in Spain and Uruguay, and then face Argentina and play the match that they did with intelligence, with decisiveness, with organization. Their road ends today, but like you guys said, I think so many people are now sympathizing with Cabo Verde because they played an extraordinary match, and my nerves are settled. Let's talk football.
Nico, let's talk football. Argentina, they got it done. What did you learn about the national team with this performance tonight and eventually getting that victory?
Yeah, Ian, listen, I think today Argentina showed that they're fallible. The World Cup champions can be beaten. And Cape Verde, I don't know if they showed a blueprint, but playing the way that they did, they perhaps docked a couple of points off the power rankings for Argentina, because in the group stage, Argentina looked like they were flying high. And today, they showed that if you can slow them down, force their hand, they were unable to get out of third gear. Very organized, Cape Verde forcing Argentina to constantly recycle. And Argentina were rarely completing take-ons, even attempting them, not crossing the ball. But anyway, there was not too many people to cross the ball too. It felt like they needed Messi to come up with, again, a moment of magic. They were bailed out on a couple of corner kicks. So Argentina need to be very introspective if they wish to repeat, which from the very start is extremely difficult to do. But Argentina wobbled today and they almost fell, but they regained their balance. Let's see how they do against Egypt.
Yeah, but Nico, isn't that a sign of a good team? Because in a World Cup, you can't play 7 good games, 6, 8. You're going to have a bad hiccup. Good teams find a way to win. Argentina went up, they got tied. They went up, they got tied. But they found a way to still get the job done. And I think that's a sign of a champion is still there.
Yes. without a doubt, Cello, a champion is still there. They are always champions. I think that we've seen Argentina play much better than this. Today they were bogged down, and they couldn't find solutions from open play, which is just a worrying sign. Of course, Cello, first and foremost, it is very important to win and move on. I just remember that even though it was difficult, right, against the Netherlands at the World Cup, Argentina were much better than the Netherlands. And then the 2 goals that took the game to extra time, Argentina were much better than Australia in the round of 16 of the last World Cup, right? They showed their muscles. Today, what was just worrying is that they didn't show their muscles. And again, this is nitpicking Argentina, because I think Argentina deserves to be nitpicking because we know what their ceiling could be, especially when you have the best player of all time. So Argentina moves on. It's against Egypt, who are also resolute and have a very difficult spirit to break, and good footballers that could pose a threat. But yes, Cello, without a doubt, sign of a champion is that you win no matter what.
Nico, we've heard your dad was lost for words when he was calling the game on television earlier. And I've watched plenty of his commentaries. He's not often lost for words. Were you equally as speechless as you were watching it?
So I haven't been able to speak with my father. I wasn't speechless. You know, things like this could happen. I was just expecting a little bit more from Argentina. My dad actually texted me during one of the breaks. I forget which, if it was a water break or the full-time break, and he told me, I can't believe it. We've been texting back and forth throughout the entire World Cup, and he had high hopes for Argentina just because of the way that they were playing, right? And the performance today, with all due credit to the way that Cape Verde plays, forced Argentina to play differently, to look for other options, and they couldn't find solutions. And I think that's what was a little bit shocked. But I remained calm, and I had faith that they could figure it out. And their quality, you know, Cuti Romero is an extraordinary center half, and so is Lisandro Martinez, who also assisted the goal for Messi. So it will take just a couple of days for Argentina to reset. And I'm curious to see how they bounce back, how they play against Egypt, right? Obviously, first and foremost is winning, but in Argentina, there's a certain part of the population that always, you know, for them, it's very important, the how.
Argentina live to fight another day. Thanks for joining us, Nico. It looks like you've got a party to go to.
Get back on the dance floor, baby.
Yeah.
Before you let me go, I want to say thank you to Zulan. You guys know Zulan. She went viral during Coachella for her set. She was playing with a Boca Juniors jersey. She actually included my dad in one of her sets. She loves football. She's an Argentine American like me. She invited us to her watch party. It was called Zu Casa, and we were here. I had the privilege of watching the match next to her, and I feel like without knowing her, I knew her because we come from the same culture, and she's mad about football, and we both were suffering together. So it was an awesome watch, and I want to thank her and Nike because this was one hell of an event. And this is going to go for a very long time. I wonder what this would have looked like if Argentina didn't win, but let's just not even entertain that possibility.
We'll see you later.
Yeah, have a great night. Don't do anything that we wouldn't do, Nico.
Su casa, mi casa.
He's gonna have a good time.
I know what Ian can do. Maybe he can give me some tips. I'll invite him over here.
We'll keep those moves off camera.